my followers are less. What happened? So why people unfollow certain people is also an important study which social sciences researchers are doing. So Twitter is very much interesting for the social sciences people, which is why we see that companies such as Yahoo and Google are hiring social scientists now. So because of the fact that sociology is playing an important role in computer science these days. And then, as I said, I'll be focusing on these blogs and microblogs from the point of view of search. So we take a look at the characteristics of blog search and microblog search. How does it differ from the normal web search, from the searches people do on Google? What are the different characteristics? This paper was a work in ECIR, European Conference on Information Retrieval, by Vishny and Divichke, and they perform a study of blog search through query logs. They found that those searching for blog posts of using blog search engines want to search for named entities like Obama, Egypt, Mubarak. Mostly the users of blog search engines type in named entities. And they want to look at the blogs by the theme of the blog, like politics, education, technology, like this manner. Furthermore, the users of blog search engines are those that are engaged in technology, entertainment, and politics, and they have a particular interest in current events, which is why event detection becomes important for blog search, which is why blog clustering becomes important. And these are the areas in blog search. And then microblog search. This is a very recent paper in WSDM 2011 by Microsoft Research. They perform, Twitter, you don't necessarily have to have a Twitter account for performing Twitter search. If you go to search.twitter.com and type in any topic for, say, Egypt, then you can find the recent updates about Egypt. And at times, the news websites are also searching for information, like Al Jazeera. In the recent happenings, they found most of the news through Twitter. So the queries on microblog are of a temporal. Temporal means that they are not for events long-lasting, not for something long-lasting, for some temporary events. And people are locating people using specialized syntax. For example, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber. These are some special syntax terms that keep popping up on Twitter. Like yesterday there was a match and there was some special term invented, and likewise some special terms are always being invented on Twitter. So people use those specialized syntax. And then these are repetitive queries. For example, if 1 hour before I go to find out, and after 4 hours I want to find out more what's happening in Egypt, instead of going to a news site I have to browse through many articles, just enter on Twitter, repeat the same query and you will get more updated information. So the users of the microblog have a repetitive queries. Okay. So what we have with the combination of search engines and social media is something known as social search. And this was just like the Google paper, The Anatomy of a Hypertextual Search Engine. This was a paper in WWW 2010, The Anatomy of a Social Search Engine. And these were ex-Googlers who presented this paper. So they worked in Google for quite some time and they proposed this. They made a system called Aardvark. And that system has now been purchased by Google. And after that, there is another system like that called Quora. So what they say is that the library paradigm of search has changed now to a village paradigm. What does this mean, library and village paradigm? Library means when you search like in a library among digital content on the web, the indexed content. Village paradigm means when you ask your friends, the network of friends. I'm having this problem. I'm going to a particular country. Can you tell me about the security situation in this country? What information would be more reliable for such a person? That found on Google or that found from your friends who live in that country? Of course, friends who live in that country. So certain queries are answered best through friends. So in the library, the trust factor comes from authority. Authority as defined by PageRank, TrustRank, as I was saying. But in social search, trust comes from intimacy. Now, intimacy has to be quantified. It is a qualitative term. So how can we quantify it? Well, one way is take a look at the mutual friends of those answering your queries and to find how intimate they are. The more the mutual friends, the more you are likely to be intimate to that particular user. So such things are being researched in this paradigm. And then the key characteristics of social search is that there are communities of users actively participating in the search process. users interact with the system. And as I said, users are now the driving factor. Users also interact with other users implicitly or explicitly. If you make a Fora account, you find out more about this paradigm and you will really like it for your research as well. Okay, so how do search engines use social network features? What are some of the examples? One example is recency crawling. This was also a WSDM paper. And what they do, it's not possible for search engines to have updated information always, right? They cannot keep on crawling the whole web again and again to find what's new, and that's why you can at times not find the most recent information on search engines. So what do? They don't update that content. They do. How do they do it? What's happening these days is that they use Twitter for it. Immediately when an event outbreaks, they go to Twitter, and in Twitter you can share links. Even on Facebook you can share links. Those links are crawled first because these are recent events. Hence comes recency crawling down and ranking on basis of freshness. And even on blog search engines, you can see that the blogs that are written most recently pop up first on the blog search engines. So these are some principles search engines are making use of on social media. And also hot topic identification. What are the hot topics users are most interested in? This has not been researched much. We have our paper in this dimension, which I will present. And also news in the making. As I said, breaking news detection. And real-time search. Real-time search, for example, during the Egypt uprising, while Ghanim, who is said to be the Googler who started the Egypt uprising, his tweets were shown on Google in real time. So even in these days, you enter any query, or during the FIFA World Cup, tweets were being shown related to the FIFA World Cup. So everything is now becoming real-time search. Okay, so this is the Blogosphere case study. What we did was that, this is the problem statement. We have the whole blogosphere with many blogs, and blogs contain diverse information. Say there are some technology blogs, there are some politics blogs, there are some sports blogs. How do we identify which is which? Users want to read on a particular topic, as I said, by a theme. So we want to find a cluster of blogs to read that have interest in some particular topic. Say this is a cluster. This is a cluster for some topic. This is a cluster. And furthermore, which blog holds the greatest influence for the particular topic. If I want to look for Egypt blogs, where should I go? Which blogger should be the most influential one? Which should be the one that has the most current events with the most correct information? That is also important. So what we do, our blog clustering approach considers a blog along 3 dimensions: part of speech, blog post number, and occurrence. Part of speech means for the topic, the various parts of speech of it. For example, if topic is democracy, the adjective and adverbs and all those are considered. And within the blog, we also consider the whole blog. So in all these blog posts, we look for those terms and number of occurrences, how many times they have occurred. This is the matrix we define, TDIR. It is a matrix that is used to discover the topic clusters. Based on a set of given topic words and some linguistic rules, as I said, the part of speech, the TDIR score is defined as follows. This is the formula for it: 1 plus number of time noun occurs multiplied the weightage of the noun, plus number of time adjective occurs multiplied the weightage of the adjective, plus number of time adverb occurs multiplied the weightage of the adverb, divided by the number of total posts. This is currently, the noun has higher weightage than adjective, and then adverb has the lowest. This is an ongoing research, and we would study more on how to assign the weightages in the best possible manner, and we'll study it through some machine learning approaches. This work is still ongoing. So if a blog has this value greater than 1, it means that it lies in that cluster, because that word exists many times in that blog. For example, the word is democracy, so we'll count the number of times democracy occurs in all the blog posts multiplied by the weightage. And for democratically, because the adjective of democracy is democratic, and then adverb is democratically. And then we find the TDIR and make the clusters through the TDIR matrix. Then, as I said, we also want to identify the most influential one. So we want to rank it. For this we use the topic discussion rank. It is a metric used to rank the blogs within a topic cluster. That one was for finding the cluster, and this one was for the ranking the cluster, within the cluster. It works on the basis of the link structure of the blogs. As I said, blogs also form a social network. So this one works on the basis of the hyperlink social network of the blogs and the blog post contents. We define the TDR score as follows. If the TDIR, if there are 0 outlinks from that blog, he does not link to anyone else. He exists in isolation. Maybe he's a very arrogant blogger and he thinks that he has all the information. He does not link to anybody else. So he's not part of a cluster, he exists alone. So we just assign the TDR as TDIR, and if there are 0 outlinks. And if otherwise, if there are links, then what we do is we find the matching outlinks divided. Matching here is defined as those that are the part of the cluster that are going outlinked from him and that match with his topic. And the total are those that are all of the outlinks from him, be it part of the topic cluster or